like to thank you once more and give the floor to Mr. Volkan Duman from South Marmara Development Agency. Volkan Bey.
You let me share my screen. Can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, Thanks for having me in this webinar organized by Business Finland. Let me start with the introduction of my organization. There are 26 development agencies in Türkiye, and I'm working in South Marmara Development Agency. It is one of them, and it is located in the western part of Anatolia, below Marmara Sea. It has a critical, one of the critical regions in Turkey because we are one of the opening doors to European countries. We have 1,000-kilometer coastline, and there are many ports. And after the completion of Çanakkale Strait, our connection and collaboration will rise with our European partners. And of course, I should give you some main reasons and critical advantages with the latest data. Why we are focusing on hydrogen economy and hydrogen production in the region, and with all power plants, fossil-based and renewables. We generated approximately 13% of the total Turkey's electricity in 2021. This is an important data because if you produce hydrogen from electrolyzer, you need first of all electricity. Of course, our main focus is green hydrogen and green electricity. But I should tell this latest data first of all. And if it comes to renewable part of this critical advantage, around more than 87% of all the green electricity generated in the region in South Marmara is coming from wind energy. Our wind potential is huge. There is a huge installations in South Marmara, and there is still a huge potential left. And of course, we are trying to add other renewable technologies into that capacity. We are one of the leading region in agricultural and livestock activities, and we are also focusing on biomass power plants and solar power plants as well. And in 2021, the green electricity generation coming from renewables in South Marmara was 1.8 times higher than the consumption of all sectors in the region. Industry, residential, agricultural, every sector. And as the leading region in wind energy, South Marmara has 21% of all the installed wind capacity in Turkey. This is also critical. And this coastline between Bandırma and Biga. Bandırma and Biga are the two districts in our region. We have two cities, Balıkesir and Çanakkale, and these are the critical districts in renewable sources. And we are planning to create a hydrogen hub on that coastline because there are many power plants. There are many plants and facilities that are using hydrogen, and also there are plants that has potential to use hydrogen on that coastline, like İçtaş, a steel producer, one of the largest in Turkey. And there are many power plants. Of course, they're fossil-based. General coal power plants, Enerjisa Üretim, Bandırma Energy Base, which hosts two largest natural gas power plants. And there are many chemical companies like Bağfaş Fertilizer Company, hydrogen peroxide company, and Bandırma Boron Plant, and so on. So this coastline is critical for us because also the most efficient renewable power plants are located here. As you see on the slide, Bandırma is the leading district in our region that has around 400 megawatts installed wind capacity. And all wind power plants located between Bandırma and Biga on that coastline generated 30% of green electricity coming from wind energy in our region. And as Melik Bey mentioned, all the largest projects, natural gas pipelines coming from Iran, Russia, Azerbaijan, combined in South Marmara and pass through European countries. This may give us and critical chances, opportunities to inject green hydrogen and send it to European countries in the midterm or in the long term. And this is one of the hydrogen maps that is released within this year by 28 energy infrastructure company from Europe. And the orange pipelines are showing the import of hydrogen, and one pipeline is coming from our region, from Turkey. And how we start this process, we signed a protocol, collaboration protocol at the beginning of this year. Enerji Sovyeti is one of the leading energy company. In fact, it has, in terms of renewable installed capacity, the company ranks first in private sector, among private sector players. Etimaden, one of the state-owned company, is another important partner in this protocol. And there is Aspilsan and TÜBİTAK, one of the Turkish national research center. And these are the photos from this ceremony. Those guys are, the CEOs and general managers of the organizations. And we have three phases in our working scheme. First, we are planning to produce green hydrogen, and then, of course, we are not excluding blue hydrogen as well. And in the second phase, we are planning to produce green methanol and green ammonia because Turkey is heavily dependent on imports of those chemicals. These are the most consumed chemicals around the world, and I think the same situation is, I can say, also European countries has heavily dependent on those chemicals because most of them is coming from Russia or other countries that has natural gas reserves. These are critical chemicals, and their importance will rise because they will be used as energy carriers, hydrogen carriers, and fuel or fuel additives in the coming future. And we also, our region has 15%, of all the global boron reserves in South Marmara. And Etimaden, one of the state company, has two important plants in the region. And boron is a promising mineral, considering the storage of hydrogen. And we are planning to pilot production of those solid phase hydrogen carriers in our region. And yes, you can see the global hydrogen demand in 2021. If you put the refinery process aside, methanol and ammonia constitutes the largest demand global hydrogen demand. And boron, as I mentioned before, the importance of boron will rise with the new era because it has many application fields in new technologies of green transition. And after signing the protocol at the beginning of this year, we have established a hydrogen platform in which includes the largest companies and port facilities and universities of the region. We have objectives, main objectives, as you see. Bandırma Energy Base is our starting point, where there are, you can see many renewable technologies in that production site. In fact, here it hosts two natural gas power plants, which their capacity exceeds 1.5 gigawatt. But Enerjisa Üretim want to transform this area and add new green technologies in that production site. You can see hydrogen power plants. You can see hydropower plants, solar power plants, different types of wind power turbines, and of course they started to produce green hydrogen within this year. And we are trying to create the first renewable energy park of Turkey, and South Marmara Development Agency supports a project about this issue, and I will give some detail in the coming slides. And this will be the first indigenous green hydrogen pilot plant that will supported by South Marmara Development Agency. And it's a small scale pilot plant, but being indigenous is the critical part of this project. What we called there is a support mechanism in development agencies, guided project support mechanism, and we South Marmara Development Agency support that project, and co-financers are Enerjisa Üretim and Etimaden in this project. I won't go into detail so much, so let me go. And of course, another critical advantages of our region is, as I said before, the 1,000 kilometers coastline. On that coastline, there are many plants with their port facilities and with their desalination, large-scale desalination units. If you produce hydrogen, you need pure water, and if you send it, if you send the hydrogen derivatives like ammonia, like methanol or other derivatives to other countries, you need port facilities. So this is a critical advantage. This is Bağfaş, a fertilizer company. You can see the port, and İçtaş, one of our members of our platform. It has two large-scale port facility in its production site. And İçtaş is an important industrial area because in terms of hydrogen derivatives production, there is an ongoing process right now. We are talking about the investing in green ammonia production in the production site of İçtaş, because it has one of the large-scale desalination units in that area, 17,000, all 7,000 tons per year, and it has a large-scale air separation unit. So we have nitrogen, we have pure water. We should put an electrolyzer. It is planning to be around 100 megawatt, and to produce green ammonia and send it to European countries. It is just we are just in the middle of the process. And a small port General Coal Power Plant, Akçansa, a cement producer. So these give us so many opportunities to export green hydrogen and its derivatives to European countries. And maybe the last objective, the main target of our platform is to establish a green industrial zone in the region. This may be a matter of collaboration with Finnish companies because there will be an auction at the beginning of next year. We are planning to conduct a full-fledged feasibility study for this green industrial zone. We are planning to build 4 main zones in that region: advanced materials technologies, energy specialized region, and chemical metallurgy mixed industrial zone in that region with a multi-purpose port region. And the red lines shows the borders of the area. It is around 40 million square meters, and there are already many industrial, production sites in that region. But we are trying to make it in a more planned way, and we need a feasibility study for this green industrial zone. And this is our regional roadmap. Until 2030, we are planning to add an additional 1 gigawatt to our 3 gigawatt renewable capacity. Right now, we reached nearly 3 gigawatt renewable installed capacity in the region, and we want to add another 1 gigawatt, and which is integrated with 300 megawatt electrolyzer capacity in the region. And until 2053, we want to reach 180,000 tons green hydrogen production per year in the region. So, I don't want to go into detail because we have many studies in the region. The region has many advantages in renewables. I talked about the onshore renewable potential, but also we have offshore potentials in the region. And this is one of the study conducted by World Bank, and this is another study conducted by Denmark Energy Agency and Ministry of Energy. They determine the offshore wind zones. In Turkey, there are 4 of them, and 3 of them are related with our region. And there are detailed analysis. And let me tell you the last concrete step that is taken within this year. We have submitted an Hydrogen Valley project on 20th of September, and its budget is around 36.5 million euros. I think it can be the highest budget project in that call, and it's a 5-year project. You can see the consortium members on the slide. There are many important and largest companies in the region, like Kala Ceramic, like Enerji Üretim, Şişecam, Etimaden, Hydrogen Peroxide, and our distributor will be Lindagas in that project. Maybe the most remarkable point of our project is that the production, storage, and utilization of green hydrogen in all states. We are not planning to produce just hydrogen gas and compress it and send it to the consumers. We are also planning to produce hydrogen derivatives, liquid derivatives, and solid derivatives in that project. you can see the process flow diagram. If I hope you can see my cursor. In this project, Bandırma Energy base is again our starting point, starting location, and we will install minimum 4 megawatt electrolyzer to produce 500 tons green hydrogen per year. Energy team has already installed its seawater treatment plant and renewable power plants in the production site. So we don't need to invest in that technologies, but we need electrolyzers. After producing green hydrogen, we will send it to 4 different production sites. The largest consumer will be hydrogen peroxide, and Şişecam, a glass producer, the other one, and Kale Group, a ceramic producer, and a small fraction will be sent to Etimaden to produce sodium borohydride. And sodium borohydride will be used as an hydrogen source in a power system in the project. And you can see the map, the distance between the producer and consumers. Of course, there's not a hydrogen pipeline right now, so Linde will transport green hydrogen to the consumer sites with the help of tube trailers. That's all I can say. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Volkan Bey. It's very interesting to see what kind of developments are taking place in South Marmara region. I hope to see the execution of the projects as well.